Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial in this Call of Duty style loadout system tutorial series. Today we're going to set up the scene where we're going to be placing all of our weapons and our equipment, which we will then portray it through our widget. I'm using all the assets from Fab, and they are either free or downloaded with a personal license for free, and we'll be using these assets throughout this entire tutorial series. Let's get into the video. To start it, we're going to go to our loadout system, and we're going to create a new folder. And we're going to name this folder the Loadout scene. And this is where all of the components for our loadout scene is going to be stored. For the purpose of this tutorial, I've been through Fab and I found all of these free assets to download, either through a personal license, which is free, or the asset being free in the Fab store. I have downloaded all of these assets for us to use. I am using static meshes in this tutorial series, but if your game requires you to use a skeletal mesh, then you can just replace the static mesh with the skeletal mesh in our loadout scene and also the rest of the blueprints that we'll be creating. I'm also going to be downloading this table from Fab for us to use with our loadout scene to place all of our weapons and our equipment on top of. Now let's get back to our loadout scene folder, open it up, inside of it, right click, and select blueprint class of type actor, and then name it BP underscore loadout scene. Now open this actor, and once it opens, we're going to add a empty scene component inside of here and replace our default scene root with this empty scene component. First, we're going to go ahead and add a static mesh and name this table. This is where we'll be putting all of our weapons and equipments. I'm going to go ahead and search for that table that we just downloaded and then bring it in. Now let's go ahead and select the scene component and go ahead and add in a new static mesh. And this would be named weapon. And now select the scene component again and then put in another static mesh, and then we'll name this lethal. And select again the scene component again and add in another static mesh, and we're going to name this tactical. And one more time, we're going to add in another static mesh in here, and this would be named perk 1. And we're going to do the same thing for the rest of the perk, for perk 2 and also for perk 3. And make sure you're selecting the the scene component every time so that the scene component becomes the parent, not any other components. And one more time, we're going to go ahead and rename this weapon first, and we're going to name this weapon underscore main. So this indicates our main weapon. And then we're going to add in a second static mesh, again with the scene selected, and name this secondary weapon. And this would be for our sidearm and stuff. Next, we're going to select our scene component and add in another static mesh, and this would be for our knife, or actually our weapon underscore melee. This is what we should name it. And we should also name our secondary weapon to weapon underscore secondary, just to keep it nice and consistent with the naming structure. We're going to now group all of our static meshes. First, we're going to go in and add a empty scene component and name this weapons. And we're going to drag our main weapon, our secondary weapon, and also our melee weapon into the scene component. So it groups it into weapons. And we're going to do the same thing for the other categories as well. We're going to do one for the perks. So go ahead and get in another scene component, name this perks, and select all these 3 perks by holding down Control, and then drag it and drop it into this scene component. And we'll do one more for our lethals and tacticals. And that's for that. We're going to go ahead and name this lethals from lethals and tacticals, just to indicate that the tacticals are inside of this scene component as well. I'm going to now start arranging all of the equipment on the table. First, let me just make this table a little bit larger so it can hold a lot more equipment. And now I'm going to go ahead and select my weapon melee, and then go into the static mesh, search for the knife, and then add in this knife. This knife is a little too big for the table for sure, so I'm going to go ahead and resize it and then place it on the table where I would like to actually have it populate when I'm going through the widget. Now I'm going to select our secondary weapon and do the exact same thing. I have a pistol here and I'm going to move it around the table and place it where I think it should show up in our widget. I'm going to add in a static mesh, and this would be used for props like little cases or toolboxes and ammo magazine that is just scattered around the table, which has no functionality with our loadout system, but it's more for the cosmetics. I'm going to actually make a separate scene component with all of these props and then store them inside as well. Next up is going to be our main weapon. And I'm going to add in another prop, a little weapon case, and then I'm going to proc the main weapon on top of it here. And again, in your game, you can choose to place these weapons in any positions or any directions you would like. You can just lay all of them flat on the table and have the camera move on top of each and every single weapon as it populates and when the player selects it. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to try to replicate it as close to as possible to the Call of Duty loadout system. And then you just let your imagination run wild with however you would like for this loadout system to turn out. Next, we're going to do the same thing. And this time around, we're going to set up the 3 bags for the perks. And right now, we just have a generic backpack that we will be using to display our perks. But on top of the backpack in the future video, I'll show you how you can add a widget and then display the icons of the perks that the player is choosing to visually indicate which bag belongs to which perk and such. Next up is going to be our lethals and tactical. I have actually downloaded a smoke bomb canister and also a grenade and some flashbang models as well that we can use as props. Now I'm going to quickly add some decorations to the table, like some magazine clips and some ammo around the table just to give it a little bit more detail. Again, not the best detail out there, but something just to add a little bit more decorations to the table. And as the video goes by, I will just add more and more stuff to the table just to make it look like it's a full table. Now I'm going to add some planes to set up the floor and the wall mesh just to give it the idea that this table is actually indoor, and this will add a lot more depth to the entire scene. I'm going to be using textures from Megascans downloaded directly from Fab, a brick texture and some concrete texture on the floor and a brick on the wall to give it that indoor looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in a new scene component and name this lights. Now this is where I'm going to be storing our light component to light up the entire scene. Inside of this lights, we're going to add a rect light. A rect light is a square light, which is most often used when you don't want sharp edges on your shadows. And rect light actually gives very soft edges on your shadows. And this is what we're going to be using for this scene. Let's go ahead and save this before we lose any progress. And the last thing that we're going to do here in this scene is to select our scene component and then add in a scene capture component 2D. This is going to be the camera that we're going to use to render the scene into our widget. And anytime a model gets populated, we're going to move this camera using blueprints to focus on the target or the selection that the player has currently made. So at this time, I'm going to place this camera roughly in the scene just to place it. And then in the future videos, when we're going to go and modify this scene component, we're going to actually get the proper locations and the rotations of the camera, and we're going to rotate it based on the selection that the player has currently made. One last thing that we're going to do before we close off this video is to select the camera and then go under scene capture and then under texture target, select this none and then click on render target. It will ask you where you want to place the render target. We're going to select our loadout system folder and our loadout scene, and we're going to name this RT underscore loadout scene. What this will do is it will create a render target for us to use with our widgets. If you go to our content drawer, go to the loadout system and the loadout scene, you will actually be able to see the scene, the render target. It's a little too small, so let's make this 1024 by 1024. And again, we need to now redo the loadout scene. So to do that, go back into your blueprint with the loadout scene and the camera. Select the camera, and then let's make sure that it is compiled. And then once you compile and save, go back into your loadout scene. You're going to be able to see the loadout render target in the new size. Now, if I put this render target on the side and also the scene on the other side, I should be able to move when I move the camera inside of here, the 2D component, the render target will update in live as well. And this is how we're going to be managing our widget and make this camera move using blueprints to focus on the main weapon or the secondary weapon or the tacticals and such. And this is the logic that we'll be using for our entire loadout widgets. Again, folks, just by looking at this render target, it doesn't look the greatest right now because it's still a blueprint and it doesn't have any of the natural lighting or any other lighting done with it. We just have a rec light in there. As we progress through the tutorial, we're going to add more and more lighting and post-processing to this scene, so it would actually look a lot more realistic. So with that being said, I think this is a good place for us to stop the tutorial video for today and then pick it up in our next video where we'll be working on our actual weapon system by building the structures and the data sets that's going to be controlling and storing all of our weapon data. Looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Please hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified when the next video gets released. And also, if you like this video, I would really appreciate if you could hit that like button at the bottom. That'll tell me that you enjoy these type of videos and allows me to continue making more and more videos like this. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you on the next one.